Hello everyone, welcome back to This Day in Weather. If you're just joining this channel, this is where you can learn about weather events that occurred in the United States on the date the video was posted in years past. Today is August 17th. On this day in 1899, the longest-lived Atlantic hurricane on record, known as the San Cririaco Hurricane, was ongoing. It had formed on August 3rd and had peak winds of 150 miles per hour, a Category 4 hurricane, after passing the Leeward Islands. It then weakened slightly to 140 miles per hour, but still a Category 4 storm, and made landfall in Guayama, Puerto Rico the next day and killed nearly 3,500 people in Puerto Rico. Then it weakened to a Category 3 storm and paralleled the north coast of the Dominican Republic, then struck several islands in the Bahamas. On the 17th, it turned northwest and made landfall near Hatteras, North Carolina, early on the 18th as a 120 mile per hour Category 3 storm. No stronger hurricane has made landfall on the Outer Banks since the San Cririaco Hurricane. After making landfall in North Carolina, it went out to sea and didn't finally dissipate completely until September 12th. Although it did become extratropical on September 3rd. Despite this, it didn't make any additional landfalls, but it had already caused a lot of damage. Specifically, 3,855 fatalities were caused by this hurricane, and damage was $20,1899 United States dollars. To equate to that, 125 years later, in 2024 United States dollars, it would take over $757 million. On this day in 1946, an F4 tornado caused destruction of a campground near Mankato, Minnesota, and killed 11 people and injured 100. More than 1,000 turkeys were killed as a result from farms being destroyed. 30 more people were injured by a separate F4 tornado when it leveled a farmhouse and struck Wells, Minnesota. On this day in 1969, Hurricane Camille nearly destroyed Waveland, Mississippi and surrounding areas as it made landfall as a monster 175 mile per hour Category 5 hurricane. This was one of just 4 Category 5 hurricanes to make landfall in the continental United States. It had formed just 3 days earlier on the 14th and rapidly intensified into a Category 5 hurricane on the 16th before making landfall in Waveland and causing damage and destruction across much of the Gulf Coast of the United States. Because it quickly moved through the region, Camille dropped moderate rain in most areas. Areas in and around Pass Christian, the point of landfall, reported 7 to 10 inches of rain. The area of total destruction in Harrison County, Mississippi was 68 square miles. Camille directly killed 143 people along Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. As the storm progressed inland, it weakened to a tropical storm 14 hours after moving ashore. Then 12 hours after that, it became a tropical depression, but it didn't go back out to sea before causing more destruction. After moving eastward through Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia, the storm then caused catastrophic flooding in Nelson County, Virginia, and other areas nearby, killing an additional 153 people for a total death toll of 296. In all, a total of 8,931 people were injured, 5,662 homes were destroyed, and 13,915 homes suffered major damage, with many of the deaths being coastal residents who sadly did not evacuate. Total damage from Camille was 1.42 billion 1969 United States dollars. In 2024 United States dollars, it would take over $12.1 billion to equate to that. Due to all the destruction Camille caused, the name Camille was retired and will never be used again for an Atlantic tropical cyclone. On this day in 1983, Hurricane Alicia made landfall on the southwestern end of Galveston Island in Texas. It had just formed 2 days earlier on the 15th and rapidly intensified into a 115 mile per hour Category 3 hurricane before landfall. This was the first hurricane to make landfall in the United States since Hurricane Allen struck South Texas in August 1980, ending the longest period of the 20th century without a landfalling hurricane on the United States coast. It was also the first major hurricane to form in the Gulf of Mexico since Hurricane Anita in 1977. Galveston and Houston suffered major damage. Thousands of homes there were destroyed. In downtown Houston, nearly all skyscrapers lost approximately half of lower-level windows, littering the urban streets with debris. Much of southeast Texas was hit with flooding and widespread power outages, with observed rainfall totals peaking at 9.95 inches. In addition to the strong winds, rough surf, and heavy rainfall, Alicia generated 22 tornadoes centered around the Houston-Galveston area. Most were F0, but an F2 tore through Corsicana farther north. Impacts from Alicia tapered inland past landfall, but the weakening system produced damaging winds and flooding in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex and Oklahoma. Light rain associated with Alicia was observed as far north as Michigan. In total, Alicia killed 21 people and injured 7,288. Damage was $3,1983 United States dollars. In 2024 United States dollars, over $9.4 billion would be needed to equate to that. The destruction caused the name Alicia to be retired from that list of Atlantic names. It was replaced by Allison for the 1989 season, which itself was retired after a tropical storm by that name caused destruction, also in Texas, in 2001. It was replaced by Andrea for the 2007 season. That will close up this edition of This Day in Weather, but be sure to stay tuned in because whenever there's a new video, you will learn about weather events that occurred in the United States on the date the video was posted in years past. Please hit the thumbs up button to like this video. Please hit the subscribe button to be sure to never miss a new video. And if you're just joining this channel, please check out all the other videos that have been posted on this channel.